welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Brett Bovin. This is episode 50. I mean, when I first started this, I can't believe I'd see episode 50, but I knew it'd come, and I can't believe it's already here. It seems like time's flowing by. But enough of that. Sean will be coming partly somewhat late on the show, only because if you don't know already, he does work in law enforcement, so he had run a little late from work, but he's going to be probably popping on a little later. If not, we totally understand. So I don't even know how to. I had something I wanted to say when we first started off the show, but I can't remember what I was going to say now. But you know what? Enough of what I was going to possibly say. Let's just bring in our guest. He is from Indiana. His name is Brecken. Let's give him a round of applause.
What's up, Brett? Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah. Saw an opportunity and wanted to meet you guys, so I'm excited about it.
Well, we talked about this pre-show. Sean might be coming in late. I'm sure you already heard that, but
Yep.
For everyone that doesn't know you, can you give like a quick little interview about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Out of a small town in Indiana, North Manchester, Indiana. Grew up there and have a wife, Cassandra, and two great daughters, Lennon and Maven. They're 3 and 1, and they're my world right now. And obviously, I'm on the show because I love hunting. Love the outdoors. A big part of my life has been in that. I own a farmland trophies outfitting business with Ty Mills. And also, a lot of people don't know this. Russ Cooper is a partial owner as well now, which kind of gets back to my little girls. I had to make a choice and kind of brought him aboard to kind of take over some stuff for me. So Ty's the unit of the business. And then also I sell real estate for Mossy Oak Properties in northern Indiana. So I'm back and forth in Illinois. I was back and forth in Illinois to Indiana a lot. But now mostly Indiana, and I get out to Illinois when I can. So,
how far is the drive kind of between the two from your house?
It's 5 hours. 5 hours, yeah. I think I've made it a little less before, but yeah, right at 5.
How long are you making that type of trip? How often are you making that trip out there?
I used to make it probably once a month, and then during season we would stay out there at our house where we lodge the people and everything. But now I'm out there maybe once or twice, about 6 months. Maybe I'll go out there and hide a couple weeks out of the year, but it's just, family's priority. And it's definitely starting to take over. And, I want to put my girls and my wife first out of it. So.
Sorry, I'm just making sure it seems to be a little kind of glitchy in a sense. So
it could be me.
Oh, you're good. I'm just making sure get everything. So, how long have you been running the farmland out there, and how long have you been with Mossy Oak?
Yeah, so farmland. I was 24, I believe, 8 years old when Ty and I went on that adventure and bought the business. Man, looking back, it's came a long ways. We worked electrical together. We would drive out there in the morning, pull cameras, drive back in the evening, and go to work the next day. And it's, we're going into our 10th season now. It's crazy. And have such loyal clients, and friends. And it's crazy how far we've come. And then Mossy Oak, I am into my 7th year of selling real estate for them in northern Indiana. And it's been life-changing and enjoyable. And it's kind of one thing led to another, and got some big things coming up, and pretty excited about it. So
what's it like running farmland trophies so what exactly is it?
Yeah, so Farmland Trophies, it's a whitetail deer hunting business. We sell free range whitetail deer hunts. Take clients from all over the United States. Heck, we've had, I think, a couple from Canada. Whitetail deer hunting, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to chase Midwest giants like we do. Been pretty fortunate to grow up in the Midwest, and yeah, just one of those things. They want an opportunity, so we tend to we have a farmhouse where people stay in. It's fully furnished. The food's there for them. Um, we usually take 8 to 10 hunters at a time, and we really take around 60 to 70 a year is really what we try to stick to. There's other big outfitters out there. We've been very successful on our, keeping the pressure down on our properties. I think we lease around 21 farms now out there, and yeah, it's just one of those things. It's been made a lot of friendships and connections, and throughout the hunting industry, we'd go to shows, and yeah, the shows were fun, but we don't do very many shows anymore, and it's mostly because social media has taken over, and we have repeats. Mostly, you call and want to hunt during the rut, it's more than likely not going to be possible unless you book out 2-3 years. So
That's how far people are booking out with you guys?
yeah, we have repeat customers that we have to keep their names and their dates. It's just they've been with us so long, and they expect to come to next year, and we want them back. But yeah, we do have some dates that, I think October 1 through 5 is usually a tough hunt to get booked. And it's really more of a hunting kind of hunt, and book out takes a little bit of time to book. Guys, October 1 through 5, they end up coming during the rut next time because they've had a little taste of the Midwest and they want the full experience next. And that's what we definitely give them during the rut. So it's all day sits, and they grind it out.
Man, I can't. That's a little bit of a surprise to me for the 1st to the 5th, because honestly, that's almost my favorite time of year to go hunting.
Yeah, we killed one of our biggest deers that actually October 1st, very first evening. Um, it's a time we can pattern them. We have food plots ready for a lot of clover plots are hunted that time of year, and the trail cameras. I mean, they say it all. We can definitely pattern them, and it's um, yeah. I just saw Dwayne Jones is the man. So hey, Dwayne, I watched your podcast earlier today. So, but yeah, no, we pattern them, and yeah, we've had. I would say the opportunity is still there. It's a lot of guys. We can do so much as guides, owners, and really, it's once you put that hunter in that deer stand, that client, it's all up to him whether he walks in off and ribbons to get him to it's new territory. So we understand, guys may get a little sidetracked, and access is key. And yeah, I mean, the wind, we play the wind a lot out there. I mean, that's number one what we go by. And yeah, so I don't know, it's just one of those things. That first week can be a lot of opportunities, but a lot has to do with the hunter too. So
What's it like dealing with hunters that are new to the ones that have the experience? What's it like managing, or not managing them, but trying to figure out what they want, how to put them on the correct spot?
yeah, it's man, I would say if they're willing to listen, a lot of the times don't guide your guide is a big topic. Um, and even our most experienced hunters with us still listen to us, and the reason why they're so successful is because they listen to us. We know the properties, know the opportunity that's out there, of the deer, and that's going to be your best bet is knowledge. And that's what we try to put into it. People will tell you I'm probably more of the business side of things, and you get the unit. He does an amazing. I've let him pick the stands anymore. It kind of sucks, but it's one of those things. I trust him he lives for it. I mean, Ty Mills, he's the partner in it, and he sells for Mossy Oak Properties too up here in northern Indiana. But he lives for that, and just kind of gave him the ropes, and say, put the guys where they need to be. Just tell me where to take them. Yeah.
What made you guys decide to be free range and not have a fenced in area?
I would just, we go to shows and stuff, and nothing against fenced in areas. If they love doing that, good for them. That's fine. And I just prefer free range, and that's what you get. A lot of people that just want that. We've set up booths next to fenced in outfitters, and they tend to, people that come talk to us talk very badly about them, but it's all in the hunting industry. It's just whatever you prefer. And it's that fencing is definitely more high dollar, and can make some good money doing that. And Ty and I tell you this, we don't make a lot of money doing it. We just love it and love what we do. And I think the more we've done it now, it's more about meeting our clients, and the connections and knowing people is huge in this world. And led us to Russ Cooper. He's been with us since the very beginning. He's helped us through the hard times in the business, and he's been life-changing for both Ty and I, and a good friend, and he's family to us now. And that's why, kind of roped into the business with us now, and which hasn't been announced too much and probably needs to, but one of those things, we just decided to bring him on board to help out with me. So, but yeah, Ty's amazing. I've known Ty since junior high, and he just, you want to kill a big deer, talk to Ty. I think I could do it. I could put you on a big deer, but I'm just going to let Ty take care of it. I'm probably a little more aggressive hunter than Ty. I'm like, the wind's there. Really? If you get on in there, it's the rut. Kill him. Ty's like, no. and it seems to work out. So, yeah.
How often are you able to hunt out there on your own land out there in Illinois?
Yeah, a lot. We get, you get a lot of bashing on Facebook and social media if you see the guides are hunting. Honestly, I don't get much time anymore. I think a lot of our hunters want us to hunt. They're okay with it. They know we work hard for them. We put them in the best spots. It's usually we slip into areas that aren't being hunted much. 21 farms and 8 to 10 people. There's a lot of farms sitting empty. And really, clients will tell you, I've sat in a stand and saw a mature 160 going to a draw. Next thing you know, I'm calling Ty if he's at the lodge. Hey, go grab this hunter, get him in this stand. I'm getting out. Or that next day we put them right in there. We're not going to not tell you there's a big deer. It's just one of those things that helps us learn our land. And if the deer movement is happening there, we need to get someone there. So that's really usually what we do, is slip in, slip out type deal. I think, like I told you before the show started, it's been 4 years since I killed a buck out there. And honestly, if I would pick the best spots and everything, and I'd probably kill every year. I'd probably tag out my 2 bucks every year. It's just one of those things, but we put our clients first.
Right. I'm sure you get more of a joy seeing them being successful, because you have your own place there in Indiana, I'm assuming, so you can get your deer there. But I'm assuming it's nice to see your hunters out there be successful, and I'm sure it's more disappointing for you than the hunter when they don't succeed.
Yeah, that fifth day is tough. Tough watching them go to their last set, because it's not 100% success. It's usually probably right around 30 to 35% success rate, and a lot. Opportunity rates a lot. Like I said before, opportunities to shoot those deer for you. Whether you're grunting too much, you're putting too much cover scent on, getting down out of the deer stand and stretching at the wrong time. We cannot. We do the best. We have rules. We set rules and stuff, but a lot has to do with them. So, it's just one of those things. I don't.
What kind of rules do you?
Yeah,
no, you're good. What kind of rules do you have out there? Because I've heard some rules where it's like, well, you gotta shoot a 140 or above. What other type of rules kind of are set in place in a type of place like that?
Yeah, so we have a presentation we go through when everybody gets there. Rule wise, we do have a 140-inch minimum. That's why people come hunt with us. They want the big deer. Those 2.5, 3.5-year-olds, that's our future business. It's one of those things. We do allow 8 points that are over 130 inches to be shot, clean 8s. We'd rather see guys take the 130-inch 8 points over the 137, 138-inch 10 points, because we know those will explode. We do have a deer that we say are off limits. It's, they could be a four-year-old deer, and we just know he's got potential to go 180, 190 next year. And we're going to tell him not to shoot it. So we pick and choose, but yeah, rules. It's, you can't get down, walk around. You're in the stand, you stay there. Rut wise, we're wanting you to sit all day. If you're not willing to sit all day, you're probably not going to go in that deep stand. That's going to give you a better opportunity. It's very, we're strict, but we communicate really well with our clients, and it's like I said, they appreciate us being strict. It is $1,000 fine if you shoot something under 140. So that's always a bad day when you have to go tell someone, but usually they know. You do have some accidents that happen that we've had bucks that switched up on guys. Big buck went in, small, thought he was coming back out. It happened this last year. A hunter that is a very good hunter, and he was watching a 180, and he had a shot at him at 60 yards, and that's a poke, and didn't feel comfortable, and was getting low light his last night. And that buck finally showed up, went into the draw. Next thing you know, comes back out, and it's even lower light, and he's like, that's that deer. Shoots it, not that deer. So and for him, he's a dang good hunter. It's just, you get caught in the moment. We've all been there. Heck, I've shot a small deer running across the field I thought was huge. So it's and we're not the type of guys on a penalty buck to get mad at you. I would say Ty gets a little frustrated because he's hoping that deer would make it. But it's right. One of those things. Most penalty bucks for our hunters are honestly a lot of the times their biggest deer they ever shot. So it's tough to, yeah. You're dealing with Vermont, PA, Carolinas, Alabama. It's, Florida. Heck, a button buck in our Midwest is big for. They're thinking that's a giant doe. So it's one of those things for people just don't have the big deer what we have, and and it's the ones with the tall tines, I would say, in the spread look big, but the mass ain't there. They're gonna probably pull the trigger on that deer because of the length and everything. Like those deer look big, but at the end of the day, you got to go, and we teach them when we're in there. You got the mass, the width, the the G. We tell them the G2s have to be 8 inches at least. The brow tines at least 4 to 5. The tips to the antlers to the nose, and we actually, a lot of guys appreciate this too. We actually provide a kind of a hit list form of shoots and do not shoots. So we actually share folders with our clients of the deer they're hunting. Which has been a lot of help. And I think our penalty bucks probably went in half by doing that, because they study. What else are they going to do in the stand? They study those deer, and it's just one of those things that's helped out with that penalty. But yeah, it's a strict rule process. It's, like I said, it's it's been
I did see Sean popped in. I did have another question though, Brecken. So if you don't mind, I can pop Sean in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice
How's it
meeting you, man.
going?
It's going good.
Sorry for being late.
It's okay. I'll let it happen once.
All right.
So if someone is out there and they break a rule and maybe they knowingly broke the rule, what type of consequences are in place outside of that if they shoot that one, the $1,000 fine one?
Besides that,
yeah, what are the other type of consequences?
Man, Ty and I are really nice guys, and we're really probably too much of a pushover. And these rules aren't life or death. We just hope they follow them. Usually, if anything, you pull them aside and just away from everybody, and just tell them like, "Hey, we can't have this happening." We've had it to where we have some cell cameras out there, and you get them walking by. And they're just, usually if we tell them they can get down and do their business, just stay right around the tree, but that camera's 100 yards. You shouldn't be walking that far to do your business. And that's where we just pull them aside and have a nice little talk with them. And mostly, like I said, most of our clients a lot of them are repeat guys, and it's just, we full on don't have to worry about that. So every year we get a couple hunters that come through that it's tough. You're straight up. I mean, you're babysitting grown men, and it takes a lot on you, especially during the rut. And you hate to say you even think to have to babysit someone being a grown man, but you do. During that rut time, it's full on. I mean, you got 8 hunters sitting all day. You're tracking. I mean, we've had a season where we tracked every single day. And you're running back and forth, and people think, oh, guiding's easy. And honestly, Ty guided before I did. And it was one of those things. I was like, dude, you're guiding. How hard is that? I think he kind of ripped into me. That was before I owned the business with him. And he was just on no sleep and everything. And, reality sets in when you become a guide.
Right.
And it's a tough thing mentally to get through. But yeah, we've had it, like I was saying, tracked every day, and it's long days. And Tracker John, I'm sure you guys have seen him with the juries and stuff. He's actually does an outfitter program with our outfit, where he comes and tracks for you. So
really?
We use him a lot, and usually you can tell when he hasn't been sleeping. He's he'll go 3 days without sleeping, and that rut's hitting. He's full on nonstop, and that's how we are. It's full on nonstop. It's sleeping when you can, and drained.
Well, I think you all deserve some type of break once in a while. It sounds like you can get it though with your family. And so, with that being said, what's it like being a real estate agent for land and selling property there in Indiana, your home state? What's it like in doing it in your home state?
Oh, it's been awesome. I know, kind of switched right over to Mossy Oak, which is fine. But yeah, that's a big part. I mean, that's Ty and I's career. It's a big part of. It's nice to have that. Farmland was just, like I said, kind of we just love what we do over there. But having this in the northern part of Indiana, selling real estate for Mossy Oak Properties, it's been 7 years of straight enjoyment. I can't. Every business, every job, it's going to have its days, and this real estate does too. I mean, I can hit my head on the wall some days, but being able to meet, I deal with a lot of rural properties and houses with acreage, hunting tracts, tillable land. I don't do a lot of just little residential type properties. I'll list them usually, but my main advertising is those rural properties. A lot of the rural landowners, they love to hunt, they love nature, and love the outdoors, and that's why they've owned this piece. And just being in that atmosphere, it's what I really grew up doing, and it's been a really good fit for me and my family. And yeah, I just haven't looked back. It's Mossy Oak Properties is one of the best choices I've made in my
How
career.
do you get into that line of work?
Yeah, so really it's a test taking process, and then you got to be willing to have someone to hire you on. I got into it through farmland. I mean, it kind of just one thing happened, then the next thing happened, and a big part of my life has been my dad told me back in the day he wishes he would have done this, and that, and just one of those things. I kind of took, he said time's everything, and he worked asphalt for 40 years, and clocked in, clocked out, and had long days. Missed a lot of time with us, and one of the things I kind of sat there and told myself I wanted that time, and that's what really real estate's given me is time with family. Now comes with the phone constantly. I'm in my 7th year, and it's constantly ringing and busy, and you got to learn in this career to take time for your family and stuff. I've learned a lot of the times I don't do business past 7:00. Sundays I take off. You gotta make time for your family. But yeah, it's just been, I'm just thankful that really from farmland, Chad Renbarger, Kelly Hendricks, and Jeff Mahalik approached us, Ty Mills and myself at the same time, to become agents in Northern Indiana. They didn't have any agents up here. And Ty and I got in at a really good time. Things exploded when COVID hit. It was people wanted the rural properties. People wanted that acreage to get away on, to camp out. Camping shot up. It's rural lifestyle went crazy. I've gotten a lot of business out of Chicago, people getting out of that city to come to Indiana because cheaper taxes. I'll tell them taxes on this place is $300, and they're like, per month, and I'm like, no, that's the whole year. It's just one of those things. It's just a lot of opportunity here in Northern Indiana, and I've taken advantage of it and made my name pretty well known and as one of the land guys to contact, and got a huge backing, and I got a huge backing in the Amish community too, and they've been some loyal clients to me, and very good people, and it's been crazy. It's been a fun road so far.
So what you're saying is, if I'm getting ready to buy property in Indiana, you're the guy to hit up then.
Myself, yes. Don't call Ty. No, you can call myself or Ty.
Does that include a discount if we call you?
We can talk. Yeah.
So
I prefer to list properties, but I do work with buyers too. Listing is a lot better. That's more guaranteed.
What's it like?
Oh, sorry, Brett.
I ask one quick question, Shauna. What's it like day in and day out of doing that and trying to manage your family time? Because I saw that you said that you got to make the time for your family. Can you kind of give like a day in or like a week to week type thing? What's it like?
Man, yeah, it's like I said, Sundays I try to take off anymore. I used to not be that way, but I've got established enough to where I've been told by other people, and it's a big part of me is listen and learn and listen from your elders, and they tell me business can be done the next day, type deal. And that's where it's definitely, I've heard that a lot and taken it. I try to do it as much as I can. And a lot of the times I've gotten better. I mean, it's a work in progress. But my Mondays, I try to keep my Mondays open. Mondays are more of my office day, get ready for the week. Listings up, check with buyers. That's just Mondays. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, I'm usually trying to schedule showings or, doing more office work. It's out in the field, going to check on a property, taking pictures, doing the drone footage, videos, putting up trail cameras if I need to. If it's a hunting property. It's just a never ending cycle. And a big thing with, real estate agents in general, honestly, we don't get a day off. that's been a tough thing, besides unless you take one like I do on Sundays. But that's been a tough thing with going on vacation and stuff. I mean, you got deals. I think I got 11 pending properties right now, and you got to make sure those are staying, on moving forward and getting to the closing table, because you work for the seller and you want to make sure, like, that's sometimes that's all they got. So heck, if I go to Florida on vacation, I got to wake up in the mornings and do business down there. It's, that's probably the only downside. You can't leave work at work.
Okay.
Clocking in, clocking out. You can't do that with this business. And, but it's been the other side of it. If you're successful, the money, you do get days. I mean, I'll have a slow day and I'm at home with my kids. So you set your own schedules. It's one of those things you just figure out as you go. It's one of those things. So it's just the biggest hard thing is with the vacations. Like, I can't, like, you just want to be like, not worry about it, but you just can't. Like, it's just, that's the tough thing. So, but yeah, Sean, what you got?
Well, I 100% agree with you on finding that time with family. With my background in law enforcement, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that time because, again, I like how you said you got to babysit grown adults. Well, that's what I do. Is I babysit grown adults for a living, and it sucks. It takes a lot of toll. But my question is for our viewers is, with your position at Mossy Oak Properties, do you think that's helped you more in your hunting style on looking at property, how to look at properties a certain way?
Yeah. So I think it's owning the farmland business has helped me, I think, with Mossy Oak, because I get asked a lot, what do you think about this stand setup? What do you think about, they know I own that business out there. What do you think about this property? And I think a big thing with me being an agent, communication's number one. I'm not that type of agent you're not going to hear from, except for being a listing, like having a seller and listing their property. I give them updates and stuff. And yeah, it's just one of those things. I lost train of thought for a second.
No, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go over that question again for me.
So pretty much is like, for our viewers, with you working as a real estate agent for Mossy Oak Property, you probably see millions of different properties or thousands of different properties.
Yeah.
Different layouts, different culture, if they might have muck, non-muck, depending on the population. Do you think that it's helped you in the long run on your hunting? What a good advantage of, hey, this is a good field to hunt on, or hey, I would recommend this, or hey, this is how in your hunting career.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely helped out. I mean, like I said, it's farmland's transition. That knowledge and stuff over there is transition to my buyers and sellers. And hey, I think that you need to put up a tower blind here, put a food plot in here, and get some pictures of big deer. Big deer sell properties. It's just one of those things. You got to beef up that property. And if I've been in farmland out there and long enough to know what good properties are, and it's I'll be straight up with my sellers and buyers if it is a good property or not. And I think a lot of people too, kind of like Dwayne Jones, you guys talked to him with his Dream Dirt thing he's got going. It's a lot of the time, like his story with his property, didn't see many deer. And a lot of properties are like that. I mean, you got to have time, give it 2-3 years, make it your own, plant trees, plant native grasses, do what you can for that property to beef it up. And that's where, they ask for, I get buyers that ask for help and knowledge, and like I can send them to Dwayne and, anybody. I mean, I know a lot of connections, and it's one of those things. It takes time for the property. And that's what, if I see a property with potential, I'm going to be straightforward with them. And I that's one of the things. I think I'm not here to, I mean, everybody wants to get sales. I get paid commission, and if I don't sell something, I'm not going to have that the next month, so I want to get sales, but I've been very honest and very open and straightforward with people from the get-go. And I think that's why I've built such a big client base and have them backing me. And I work with investors, and I work with people that flip properties. I mean, I work with people that buy hunting properties, hunt it for a year and sell it, set them up. And it's, a lot of the times too, with all sellers that I work for, a lot of the times I'm not trying to flip their properties with another buyer. I work for them. It's really the other agents that some reason sellers hire and list properties. And I say, hey, that's too cheap. Or, hey, if you guys go and put a couple food plots, tower blinds, and set them up, I can definitely make people money. I've worked with one investor for 6 years, and I've made him a lot of money, and he's very loyal, and he's always willing to pay me commission. Even if he buys it for sale by owner, he still pays me commission because I've made him that much. Like, it's just, he calls me on every property, and he probably calls me every day. And he's one client that I've been like, oh man, it's a lot, but he's the loyal. I mean, you gotta do it. So yeah, it's been an advantage. And now with Mossy Oak, I tell them about farmland, and they come hunt with us now. So it's back and forth, and but farmland takes care of itself now. It's one of those things. It's just the repeats are there. So, but Mossy Oak, I got to advertise and still push. So it's a grind.
I mean, loyalty is a big thing. I mean, if you don't have loyalty, you don't have much. Right. I mean, hard work, you used to be like back in the days. Our generation these days is word of mouth.
Yeah, it is.
Your word is more than anything. Just because you can put this on a piece of paper saying, hey, this is what I can do, what is your action going to show? And that's, what you said was a great topic for our viewers. Now, my other question is you were putting on is, plotting on food and, depend on the plot. What in your expertise, I know we had our other viewer where he was specific on a certain brand. What do you consider as a good brand to yourself? Do you like the natural kind, or it doesn't matter?
I mean, I'm gonna say Mossy Oak Biologic. I'm big. Ty sold me a lot on clover plots through farmland early season wise, and then I'm big on grain and late season. I love my standing corn. I usually try to get farmers to leave it. I've planted them myself, but usually don't look like what a farmer can do. But we're always not here to make it look pretty. As long as they come to it, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
I hate standing beans, but I know those in past have produced the biggest deer. So I kind of tend to them still because we've shot some of our biggest deer on. Everybody says cut corn, but looking back, our big ones are killed on actually cut beans and standing beans. It's just it's just one of those things looking back. So yeah, I mean, I'm big on food plots and food, and I'm gonna say Mossy Oak Biologic, and I know, I mean it's part of our company, so I get a discount, so I mean I got to use them.
Yeah, hey, that is fine with us. That is fine with us. I know Brett and I, with Whitetail Advantage, we tell all our viewers, all our people who come on this show is eventually we are going to go live and have recordings of us out hunting. And we, Brett and I guarantee Brett will agree with me. We want to invite you. Hopefully we come out down to you, or you come up to us on your time, on your free time, and we can go out hunting. And maybe you might be able to teach us or our viewers something that we don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. I'm building right now, which I was telling Brett a little bit before you hopped on, in North Manchester. Well, it's a little town called Silver Lake, and bought 60 acres there and putting a house up right now. So yeah, I'm in my parents' house right now, so doing this podcast. So life's been hectic, but we got a month left, I think, and then we'll be on our new forever home. And I mean, it's got the setup. I just mainly turkey and deer hunt. I've gone on an elk hunt before out in Arizona. That was probably my favorite hunting experience I've ever had, and end up getting a bull out there. But yeah, I don't do much waterfowl. I have too many expensive hobbies already. I honestly, I snowmobile up in Cadillac, Michigan when they get snow. Usually it doesn't happen much anymore, but yeah, snowmobiling, golfing, and hunting takes up a lot of the time and money, and it's I gotta watch what I do anymore. So yeah,
I'm a big golfer.
Yep.
are you, Brett?
Fridays, I have my Friday night golf league. I finally
Yeah.
was able to get onto it with my dad a couple years ago, and I tell my wife, nope, that's my time. I want my time
Yeah.
with my dad. We go golfing with all our buddies out there, and she gets mad sometimes, but she's like, "Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's your time to go do whatever." And
Yeah.
go down this quick rabbit hole, and I'll make it quick.
No, you're good.
I told my wife on our very first date, I was like, you know what? This is what you're gonna get if you want to continue to date with me. In the spring, summer, I golf. In the fall, I hunt. And on Saturdays, my butt sits in my chair and I watch college football. Other
Yeah.
than that, I do it. That's
You gotta
what
be-
you're gonna get.
You got to
I
be
was
straightforward with
right
them
out the
right from
gate.
the get go. Yes, that's what I told Cassandra in my life was. I mean, I had farmland. It was one of those things that was part of me when she said yes to marrying me. So she knows I love to golf. I actually was in a league last couple of years doing that, and now we moved down here, so I'm not a part of one. So I'm kind of feeling left out right now. I'm hopefully next year I get in the league again, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, just be straight up with them from the get go, and usually it's okay. But they may complain a little bit here and there, so
Yeah, that's. I'm not gonna.
it's part of it.
Yeah. So on your personal property, let's dive into kind of what your personal hunting style is. What are
Yeah.
you doing that's making you successful? I mean, you just got the 60 acres. Have you been able to work on it? If not, what have you been doing on the other past properties that make you successful? What are you looking for?
Yeah, so the 60, I haven't done much on it. I got plans. Really, my plans are, I'm gonna walk with a timber guy here soon to kind of take out the old trees, or the trees that need cut to let the better trees grow. And then I'm gonna start probably get a couple plots in there with a couple of tower blinds for my girls to go sit with me. That's been a big thing I'm getting excited for. They got a couple more years, but we'll probably test it out a couple of times at 3 years old just to see if she'll be quiet enough, but probably not. She'll probably say deer or something like that. But yeah, no, it's just setting up there. But success wise, I mean, a lot of the times my dad bought 87 acres right out of high school, about 5 miles down the road from where I bought. I mean, it's been a really good hunting property to us. And honestly, we didn't do much for setting it up. Young, you guys are young. You guys didn't know any better. You went out there and shot what you could.
Right.
But now it's a little different. We've acquired, I think we have about, I don't even know. I bought 36 acres that attaches to it. My sister owns acreage. We have rights to probably 500 acres in one area. And right there, you can manage pretty well with 500 acres. And we have some good neighbors that work with us as well. Not a lot of pressure. And that's key to any property is a lot of the times it has to do with your neighbors on how good they are. And that's I know sidetrack, but going to Mossy Oak, a lot of the times I look at surrounding areas. If you have a bunch of little small chopped up parcels, you're probably getting a lot of pressure around that. Because, I mean, there's no law saying, at least in Indiana, you can't hunt a quarter acre because people do. They'll sit on their back porch and shoot something. That's why I like the bigger tracts around that properties. And luckily we got that. But yeah, I've kind of being in farmland and stuff. My dad, he did a lot of the work, but now we do it together. And that's, my sister, Jade, she hunts, her husband hunts our land. My brother comes over and hunts. He doesn't much anymore. He has another property that he hunts. That's pretty killer. But yeah, my dad and I, we tend to do it all. And I kind of just tell him where I think we should put plots. And a lot has to do with knowing your land, hunted it for years. And I can tell you this, I can probably sit in one spot, I think, and kill a big deer every year if I had time. But yeah, I'm pretty strict with my family on what they can shoot. Probably the worst one lately has been my dad. He gets and my dad's the type of guy, he loves watching them anymore, but he likes to have his nice little six-pack sitting there with him. So it's it's this year he shot another up and comer. He's done that 2 years in a row, and he gets excited, and sometimes I think he might need new glasses. I don't know, but it kills me because anymore I want to see him get the big deer. I don't need to shoot one. I shot the biggest deer on our farm this year, and the biggest deer we had was mid 140s, and that's just, it is what it is right now. And we've killed a 196 off our farm. I was supposed to be sitting in that stand that morning, and I ended up having to go to work. So my brother was hungover from college party and went and sat at it, walked in daylight, and shot it 30 minutes later. So, and usually how it works,
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
I bet that was
I left work pretty quickly. I had a feeling we didn't know that deer. Actually, my cousin TJ knew of him. And he traveled three miles for some reason it was a rut, but some reason must have got pushed out of the area. It surprised us all. But yeah, it's just, I think a lot of it has to do with your knowledge of the land and the way it's, I can draw maps of I know where these bucks are going to go anymore on my parents' land. This new property, the 60 acres, I don't. So that's all new territory. It's going to take a couple of years, but again, it's how you set it up and how you manage it, and learn as you go. And that's been a big part of how, we kill a couple 140s off my parents probably every year. We have opportunities to kill them, and it's one of those things. It's just the knowledge of the land over time. So, and that's a big part of it. And your neighbors, I like your neighbors. Yeah, can definitely ruin some stuff. So,
yeah, when I started getting into hunting and more, I was kind of trying to learn what other people are doing. Like, all right, if that's what they're doing out there, I got to do it here. And eventually I just got to a point where it's like, you know what? I can't necessarily do what they're doing out there because the deer are here. And eventually I just got to a point where it's like, nope, I got to learn how the deer are acting on this piece of property that I'm hunting.
Yeah, you said it. I think every property is different, definitely in its own way. It's how you set it up and how you manage it. Know your ground. I could probably drive through my dad's property blindfolded and make it the whole route around the whole land. Like, I just know it that well, and it's been time. You just learn, know where to set, and yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, just going out there and actually just being out there and seeing them operate, and eventually, you've seen it. And you just, all right, I know this deer is going to probably be coming through this area.
Mm-hmm.
Just matter of time. It doesn't matter what it is. The deer will be coming through here. And I'm a big advocate of learning the deer on your own property and trying to learn how other people are doing it and see if you can implement small pieces of it. Yeah. But you can only do so much on your own property, and deer are going to act different from street to street, basically, in my opinion. And I have a good relationship with my neighbors, and we all have kind of a same understanding of how we want to manage the deer herd out there. And if you have a good relationship, I think that's like second key.
Yeah. And that's what I'm pretty thankful for our neighbors. We've had some move in, and like, I think we had 4 guys hunting 10 acres one time, and they were just, it sounded like World War III over there. It was terrible. And I mostly archer hunt, so I have a better chance of getting my deer, and I'm in a reduction zone on our land, so which I can start in the 15th of September, so I can definitely patter them. But yeah, we got them kicked off once we found them dragging a buck across our property, and the DNR decided to go knocking on their doors. So, and then found out more things. So it's sometimes leave it to the men in green and let them deal with it. And I've learned that too, because I used to catch people trespassing and stuff and try to deal on it yourself, but it's better just to call law enforcement and, hey, I'm calling DNR. Good luck. Yeah. So, but yeah, most neighbors now, we've got some really good neighbors. I've been pretty fortunate. So
I'm kind of lucky that I don't have to deal with neighbors, because I got 600 acres already around me.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Like I said, you have that big track. It's one of those things, and that's what that's what's nice about Illinois. Going back to farmland, it's big tracts out there. Big tracts of land. The pressure's low. Indiana, it's so chopped up now. I mean, you have pressure in a lot of places. So it's been tough. But like I said, it's a lot of the times that's a big question I get asked is how are the neighbors around here selling property? So and that's what I look at the parcels and see. So
Andrew's calling you.
It's always got to do with your neighbors.
Yeah. Hi, Andrew. He's the old white coyote. I don't know if he told you guys that story, but
he texted me that, and I forgot to ask you that before we started the show. And I saw his comment. I was like, "Dang, I forgot to ask him that before we started."
Yeah. I felt so bad when I saw it. I actually shot that coyote out there. So,
is that a story you want to share on the TV on there?
Yeah. So, Andrew hunts with us out in Illinois. Him and his dad's been a joy. He came by himself the first time, and he was actually the only hunter in camp with us. So,
really?
But he definitely, yeah. It was a late season hunt, which our hunts we're pretty much done. We have a second gun hunt, and then we're done. Like that season, we're done December. I think it's December 4th, and there's still a month left of season. And he came later. This is when we offered later hunts, but now we're to the point. The deer have made it. We're not gonna that's our next year deer. We'll just get off our farms and let it go. We do enough business the first part of the season and into rut that we don't have to worry about those dates anymore. And we got to get back for real estate and stuff too. So, but yeah, he's been a joy to have out there, and killed a really big deer with us one year, which I know we're talking about the coyote, but it was on a farm that honestly we didn't have any shooters yet on camera, but we knew it was a pre-rut farm where they start moving in. It had a lot of does, and sure as heck, we pulled the camera and that big one was on there, and he ended up killing him second night of his hunt and smoked him. Yeah, so I was happy he got him, which I can see it's his profile picture. But yeah, white coyote. So this is before he shot the big one. And we were still trying to figure out what type of hunter he was, because he was all over the board. And he came in one night and was talking, and Andrew doing his thing, and said something about a white coyote. We all us hunters just kind of stopped there and looked at him like, "What the heck are you talking about? Ain't no white coyotes out there." He's like, "Dude, it was white." And it went on, and he got. I mean, we picked on him a lot that week. And I didn't know if he was going to come back. And sure as heck, I decided to go sit, and I'm on the next property over. This is late season, and I'm sitting there, and it's a spot we don't hunt much. And I just kind of look over, and I saw this white thing. I was like, "What the heck is that?" And sure as heck, it was actually a white mangy coyote. So it wasn't healthy, but it was white. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I instantly had to tell him. I was like, "Dude, I can't believe this right now." Because we just thought it was another dog, or he saw things. And yeah, I ended up putting an arrow in it, and it took off. But yeah, that's Andrew for you. He's been a joy. So ever since then, we trust him now. So I think maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, you might want to reword that one.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So
Andrew's out of Wisconsin or New Jersey?
PA, I believe.
I knew it was. I'm drawing a blank for a second.
Greatest phone call I've ever received. Yeah, I think it's PA if I remember right. Yeah, it's PA. So yeah, him and his dad.
Andrew, wherever you're from, you're going to be coming up. New
Jersey. Yeah, there we go. I knew that.
Yeah. Well, you're coming on the show, Andrew, when we cover New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your side of this white coyote too.
Yeah. He'll probably tell a different story, I'm sure.
Did he come in like, I was like, "Oh, this white coyote I saw."
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I think he was kind of just talking, and he just says some stuff. We're like, "What?" And that's just one of those things that came up, and we were just like dumbfounded. We're like, no way there's a white coyote out there. Like, that's
great.
That's albino. Like, that's like we run enough trail cameras and been on these properties long enough, we would have heard about it and seen about it in the past. And he was right that day. I hate to admit it, but
It's a
he
ghost
was.
running.
That's like saying you've seen a Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Brecken, getting close to the show
Yeah.
Is there a story? Is there a story that you that's going to stick with you forever? Like a hunting story, an outdoor story that's just gonna be like, I'm gonna remember every detail from the time you woke up to the time you went to bed.
Man, I could tell you this. Probably one of the best days I've had hunting. I actually started with Ty Mills in the morning, shooting his buck with his recurve. And we ended up tracking it. And I think this is the first deer he shot with his recurve and hit it low heart. We had Tracker John come in. These were the last deer we shot in Illinois. This was 2019, I think. Tracked it a mile. And I mean, it was dropped a little bit here, a little bit there. And then eventually Tracker John's dog sometimes his dogs will do a loop just to double check everything, and kind of brought us back to this another section of wood. They kept wanting to go in, but we weren't finding anything, and finally just let it go, and ended up finding his deer laying there, still alive, but it was weak. I mean, it was low heart shot. So it was, if we would have waited in the net, a lot of times we do wait for deer and or for them and everything. I think we gave them 8 hours until we went and tracked, but yeah, it was weak, and Ty ended up shooting it with his recurve, and it reminded me of Robin Hood, or just kind of pulling the arrows and just kept shooting it. And I think it had he was so jacked up. I think he put 4 of them. So, obviously you got that porcupine look with the arrows sticking out everywhere. But yeah, then sitting there, and we had an hour and a half till dark. We had a small farm down the road, and he was like, dude, just go sit. And I was like, no, I'll come back. I'll help you. He's like, I got this. And I was like, all right. So sure as heck, I slipped up in that stand that night, and we had a big 8-point on camera there. And I think it was, I don't know, it wasn't 20 minutes that deer steps out. And it was just that, a lot of it, you guys know, right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And, he wasn't coming down in my bottom. He was running some does up top, and it was kind of a draw that came to a fence row, and I sat right on that tee, and he was just out in the field pushing does, and I kept snort wheezing, and I don't do a lot of calling, but I knew this deer. You learn, you've seen enough, you kind of know what to shoot at a deer call wise, being in it so long. And I knew he was pretty aggressive with his territory. And eventually it was getting low light. And eventually that deer, he popped out again, right at the same spot. And he came right down to me. And I didn't snort wheeze or anything. It's just like he remembered that snort wheeze from earlier. And he's like, who the heck's down in my bottom? And it was right at last light. And he was behind brush, and I pulled back, and I had him at 40 yards, and then he stepped out, went up in the bean field, and kind of just worked right at 40 yards, and he just stopped. And luckily I didn't have to stop him. I don't think I did. I actually self-filmed this hunt. I self-film a lot of my hunts. And yes, and smoked them. And yeah, Ty and I both tagged out in the same day, and that was pretty cool. We haven't done it since, but sure we will someday. So
that's cool. You guys were able to do it all at the same time.
Yeah. And we just don't get to hunt much, and it all happened in the same day. It was November 8th, I believe, 2019. I think we both, and that's some of the best time to hunt. I mean, it was actually that year we had a break. So usually we have hunters come in, and then they leave the next day. Then we have new hunters come in that day in the evening. We kind of just keep it rolling. But like I said, we have 21 farms, so a lot of them sit empty. So the pressure's still not there. And if a stand's hot, we're putting someone there. We're gonna keep that stand hot. That big deer's there. And this was one of those years that we just kind of had a break. We had an extra day in there, and heck, we decided to take advantage of it, and we need to do that more. Maybe we should probably put some extra days back in there.
I think you should.
So,
I think you deserve it.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I have to talk to him. He's the boss. So, yeah.
Sean, did you have anything lasting for Brecken?
No. Hey, I appreciate you coming out and taking the time away from your family.
Yeah.
Everything coming on to our show. We hope to have you back on and all that, and hopefully come out there and hunt with you.
Yeah. I mean, we're always looking for new clients, and if someone wants some help in buying and selling, or I get people that, for sale by owner, their buddy wants to sell them a farm, call me. I'll tell you what I think on the price and stuff. I'm not the type of guy to go snatch it from you or anything like that. I'm a very honest person, and just one of those things, like, knowledge is everything. And that's what, do your knowledge, or get knowledge from someone that's experienced. And I'm here to help. I'm always here to help. So even with hunting tips and stuff like that.
Last one.
Yeah.
So last one for our audience. Any last words you would like to give out to those new hunters, people that are listening out, any last words you like to tell them?
Patience. I can tell you this. I've been hunting a long time. My biggest deer is 160, and that's a big deer. Don't get me wrong, but it takes a lot of time to shoot big deer, and I would just be patient. A lot of the times too, I think we get caught in on shooting big deer too. But just being out there, and I think a lot of people expect to see deer and stuff, but being in nature itself, it's just special. It's kind of my therapy to get away from everything and kind of reset. So yeah, I don't know. I think I just look at it more than killing. I think that's a big thing with our business and farmland. I think, it's not a guaranteed hunt, but people just enjoy it. You're here to, we kind of sell it as, you go to the beach, you don't get to shoot anything there. So, you're on vacation with a bunch of hunters, people that love to do the same thing as you. So it's really a deer camp, and, a bonus is if you get one. So it's, I don't know. I think just new hunters in general, it's not easy, but just be patient with it. I mean, and enjoy it. Cause like I said, it's one of those things. We hope it's there forever. The NRA backs us, and everybody backs us, or they try to back us, and you just never know. So just take time and do it.
What would be?
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
Go ahead, Brett.
Coming on.
I was going to say, how can someone reach you in regards to farmland trophies and selling property?
Yeah, just farmland trophies wise, we have a website, farmlandtrophies.com, also a Facebook page, Farmland Trophies, and then an Instagram page, Farmland Trophies. That's probably, we're probably more active on that than our website. And then Mossy Oak wise, I have a Facebook page, Brecken Kennedy, with Mossy Oak Properties. And then we have websites, mossyoakproperties.com or indianalandandlifestyle.com, or, DM me through Facebook, and my contact information. You look up Northern Indiana Mossy Oak Properties agent, and I'll probably pop up. So,
and I'll attach all those links that you sent me in the email. I'll make sure to post those when this episode gets released too. But Brecken, I just want to say this was an amazing show. Thanks for coming on, and like Sean said, thanks for taking the time away from your family. I know you have a busy schedule. To really appreciate you coming on the show, brother. We really do.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, and anytime, man. I appreciate you guys asking. So,
other than that, Brecken, we'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, see you guys.
See ya. Go back up to this one. Well, Sean, I know you were only there kind of 50 minutes into the show, but man, it was cool to see like two different how he runs a business out there, and he's kind of doing two lives kind of type of deal, in a sense of running a hunting property out in Illinois and selling land in Indiana. And I loved your question of what's it like doing both of those, and how has it helped you in your own? And
Mhm.
it was just an awesome, genuine guy to talk to, and it was really nice to talk to him.
I mean, I 100% agree. I mean, I'm kind of excited. I hope we get to go out hunting with him.
I mean, down there, he's got access to Indiana and Illinois. I mean, I was talking to him pre-show, and I think he did mention it halfway through the show, I think, but he hasn't had a successful hunt. Well, I wouldn't say successful. He hasn't had a deer harvest in Illinois in 4 years, which I get. He's busy doing all that, but
Takes time.
And I would be more, if I'm doing that, I would be more excited to see the hunter be successful out there. It's like I helped manage all these deer, and now I'm bringing these people from different parts of the country and seeing them succeed and seeing them get these deer that you just don't get anywhere else. You only see them here in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you want to consider Michigan part of the Midwest, but I consider it part of the Midwest.
Well, I do. We are the Midwest.
I mean, we are a country.
Yeah.
Well, Sean,
any last words, Brett?
I don't really have any other than thanks everyone for tuning in for tonight's show. This was episode 50. Like I said, I can't believe this got all the way up here. And
bam.
Let's see. Andrew, I'm gonna pop this up here, man. That's just an amazing comment right here. For everyone I'm gonna read it, okay, Sean?
Okay.
Andrew, if it's okay. This is what Andrew commented, and it's an amazing comment here. Brecken is one of the most knowledgeable guys I know, a true straight shooter, and doesn't ever beat around the bush, and works incredibly hard. If y'all get the chance to, you should definitely get out there with him. Highly recommended. And Andrew, wow. I'm anxious to hear your side of the story of this white coyote.
I say one of these episodes, Andrew, we're going to get you on. We're going to get you to talk to you.
We'll just have you come on the show for like 15, 20 minutes. We'll just talk about this story.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of funny. He texted me that before. He texted me that like this afternoon. And I was like, all right, I'm going to make a mental note of it. And then I had Brecken come on before we started the show. And I was like, oh, crap. I saw Andrew's comment. I was like, dang it, I didn't ask him about it. But no, we're doing shows now. Clear as day, white coyote, healthy and great coat. Oh man, there we go. But this was a fun episode for episode 50. 50 more episodes, and we're at 100. I mean, I don't know the math, but in a couple months, we're gonna be doing it.
Well, and Brett, I mean, Whitetail Advantage is we're just halfway through it. Whitetail Advantage is about to get bigger, and I'm excited for our viewers. I hope our viewers are ready for it.
We have some big things coming up. We're changing, and I think you know what, Sean. Because it's episode 50. I'm gonna make one comment. We're gonna be doing shows Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday instead. So here after April, we're only going to be doing shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, still at the 8:30 time on Eastern Standard Time, but Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. We're going to be doing things differently. Things are going to be adjusted differently. So we're excited about that change. We're still in the process of what we're going to be doing exactly. Other than that, another thing, Sean, if I'm wrong on this, correct me. You're back, but you're not officially back yet. Correct?
Correct.
So you're here now. You're going to be kind of like a part-time while we're doing this up till you do your test because you had to take some time away because you're a fire academy, correct?
Well, yes. It's more of a promotion in the fire.
Yes. And sorry about that. But so for everyone that's listening to this, I applaud you only because Sean here has some upgrades, and I'm excited for it. But you know what? You might be happy about it because right now he's got a decent camera, so you can't really see all of him. But as soon as he gets all that stuff up and loaded, when he officially comes back here in about a month, you're going to see a clear photo of him. and you're just gonna be like, no, I don't want that, and you're just punch your screen.
Yeah.
Ah. No,
Well,
but I kid, Sean. I kid. You know,
Hey, we do this at Whitetail.
we make fun of each other. That's what we do. I mean, heck, I can't believe Sean hasn't said anything about my stupid eye.
Well, I mean, it hasn't really messed up that bad yet.
No, I'm sure it will soon, though.
So,
Other than that, though, Sean, I'm ready to take out for episode 50, and we'll see everyone for episode 51 tomorrow, Thursday, April 4th. Let's kick it out.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.